This is Milton Jones, and you're listening to Six Towns Radio. Oh, yeah.
We love music. You are locked into Six Towns Radio.
Okay, Milton Jones, welcome to Six Towns Radio. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good, I'm fine. I'm just back from Australia, actually, so my head's in a different place, quite literally.
Milton Jones and the Temple of Daft. It's quite an extensive tour. How's that been going?
Fine, I think I've done, including the Australia dates, I've done 49 of them so far, so I know my words now. The question is, it changes slightly every night. People shout out stuff, and there are bits where the audience join in, so I tend to enjoy those bits the most, but I haven't had time to think about much else in the last 3 months.
And it's a different show than your usual shows, isn't it? Because there is a bit of a narrative to it.
Yes. I mean, let's use narrative loosely in the sense that it's still lots of jokes all crammed in, but there's music and sound effects, and there is a sort of beginning, middle, and almost an end to a story. So it's slightly different. It's taken me literally to a different place in terms of characters and props, and it's more like one of my radio shows, in fact, than previously tour shows have been. So that's been interesting, but it's working well now.
Yeah, I love the name, the Temple of Daft. The word daft, it's lost its mojo recently. I'm glad you've brought it back.
Yes, I'm in a one-man campaign to bring it back, and it depends where you're from as well, how you say it, because it's almost a northern word in a sense. It's sort of daft. It's from a bygone age, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah, the Southerners would say daft. Daft.
Yes. Sounds different.
The only time you hear it is in the band Daft Punk. That's the only time you hear the word daft nowadays.
Oh, yes. No, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. See, I'm quite contemporary as well.
So, when you're on stage, I know you said there's a lot of jokes crammed in. Does your mind ever just go blank, or you have to just rely on some artillery you've got?
Yes, sometimes it does. As long as it doesn't go blank halfway through a joke, then I'm fine. Because normally, if it goes blank in between jokes, I can normally pull a face and get away with it and go to something else. But because this is a story, it makes it slightly harder, because I need to remember the jokes in the right order and then put in the words, to tell the story. Otherwise, it's just gobbledygook. So it was definitely harder earlier on, but I think I know it now.
Yeah, the tour is coming to the Midlands over the next few days. Comedy's really important to us over here. We love it.
Good. Well, yeah. Why is it so important? Is it to do with needing a light side to the grey?
Yeah, well, I think it's that work hard, play hard mentality around here. People like to release the shackles of work and then go out and have a bit of a laugh. I think that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah,
I know you can sort of tell that going around the country. Sometimes you get the feeling the audience are going to have a good time whether they like the show or not. Yeah. So, it's fun to go out at the weekends up north.
Yeah, and you'll be joining us on the cusp of a heat wave as well. That'd be quite nice.
Yes, I know. Is it as warm up with you as it is down here in London?
It's getting there. Today, I'm just looking out the window now. It's getting there. It could be really hot. The thing is, when it gets a bit too warm, you get the young lads taking the tops off. We don't like that. That's something that shouldn't happen.
No, don't want that. Out of order, yeah.
But, it could be like that today, I think. I think the top-off count might be quite high.
Oh dear. Yes, well... I shall see if the audience oblige.
You won the Kings of the One-Liner. How long can a one-liner be?
I think anything that's more than 3 lines long, I know that's more than... it needs to be about 20 to 30 words, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it has too many commas, and it needs to be... I think sometimes one-liners can have 2 sentences in, because like the setup and the punchline. But by and large, it needs to be... certainly all within one paragraph, and it depends what size font you're using, of course, but if I computer, it shouldn't be more than 3 lines.
Yeah.
And that's about 30 words max.
Yeah, I love comedy, and I've always tried to write my own jokes and things. And don't you find when you hear one of somebody else, think, that was so simple, why didn't I write that?
Yeah, I think it's true of a lot of art, isn't it, that you look at stuff and you think, surely... Well, even if you write it, you think, has that been done before? Because it seems too simple, and sometimes it has. But yes, the simplest things are the best things, obviously, and anything that's too complicated usually comes from a beginner.
I've wrote a joke, and I know people say this to you all the time, but would you like to hear it?
Go on then.
Okay, last night I watched a film called The Chubby Checker Story. I love a film with a twist.
Hey.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
That's a one-liner.
It is, yes. But there are two sentences in it, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's last night I watched the film, and then there's a full stop, and then the punchline.
Yeah.
But yes, no, not bad at all. Well, good luck with that.
That's my one joke. I'm just going to take that out on tour. I've got no other jokes, so if my mind goes blank, that's all I've got. You know what I mean?
Dear. Well, yes, that could be a short show.
You're known to squeeze quite a few festival gigs, and I know this tour's quite extensive. Is there going to be any festival shows that you're going to pop up on?
Well, I'm up in the Edinburgh Fringe for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I don't think I did a lot last year, and I'll probably do more next year, because I'm sort of doing a tour every other year at the moment.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it doesn't look like I'm doing any other festivals apart from Edinburgh.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you let your hair down? But with you, it's let your hair up. How do you do that? How do you relax?
I tend to go running, and it's good practice of getting away from audiences as well if it all goes wrong. So I try and do physical exercise of some kind, because that's the opposite to what I do. I talk and I stay still. So if I don't talk and I make some physical effort, that's a relaxing day. Or I watch football or something.
Yeah.
Something that you can completely turn your head off.
Yeah, I suppose that's really important. Because when you're not doing stand-up, you're doing writing for shows, like Not Going Out, you wrote for The One, Ronnie. When you're writing for a TV show, do you give them like your reserve gags? Because you can't do the best ones.
It's tempting to do that, and if you write a really good one, you want to keep it back for yourself.
Yeah.
But often a lot of those shows, by the time I see a script or what, the ideas are so specific to a scene that I wouldn't really be able to use it anyway.
Ah, right.
So, I'll see a script with lots of gaps where there should be jokes, and I'll fit, almost like a crossword puzzle, I'll fit the jokes in. But 98% of them I couldn't use in any other context.
I suppose that's really interesting to do, having a sort of scene that you've got to write. So, for instance, if they're in the pub and they're talking about karaoke, you've got to write jokes about that.
Yes, exactly. And somehow having a very specific brief is easier than just having a blank page and trying to write a story from scratch for some reason. So I quite like that, although recently I've been so busy with my own stuff, I haven't had time to do other people's scripts.
I really hope you have a good time up here. I know you've played Stoke a few times before at the Regent and across the Mills. I hope the heat wave is on, and thank you very much for taking time out to talk to us today.
No, thank you.